Good morning, America. Votes are still being counted across the country as we come on the air this morning. It's likely to be days, even weeks, before we know for sure which party is in control of the Senate. The House likely to turn Republican, but that's not settled yet. Here's what we know for sure this morning. Republicans did not get the huge red wave they were hoping for. It was a disappointing night for former President Trump, better than expected for President Biden. But the country is still deeply and closely divided. Neither man commands majority support.
And it looks like life could be about to get a lot more complicated for the White House. President Biden's skills at working across the aisle could be tested like never before. Here's how things stand so far. Republicans gaining 6 seats in the House, Democrats gaining 1 seat in the Senate.
So with control of Congress hanging in the balance, we have our correspondents around the country in the battleground states ready to dig into why these elections, George, played out the way they did.
Congressional correspondent Rachel Scott starts us off. Good morning, Rachel.
Hey, George, I don't know whether to say good night or good morning because it was a marathon of an election day. We said this election would be unpredictable, and it certainly was. Control of the House and the Senate hanging in the balance. But let's start with what we do know this morning. Starting in Pennsylvania, Democrats able to pick up a Senate seat just months after suffering a stroke. John Fetterman defeating Republican Dr. Mehmet Oz. We don't have projections in all of the states, though. Starting here in Georgia, a tight race between Raphael Warnock and Republican Herschel Walker. This could likely be headed toward a runoff. In Wisconsin, another tight race between Barnes and Johnson. And out west, they are still counting votes. A tight race in Arizona. And here in Nevada, you have the Democratic incumbent Catherine Cortez Masto. She is trailing right now Republican Adam Laxalt, George.
And Rachel, the House a lot closer than people expected.
Yeah, this was not the night that Republicans wanted. They wanted to win by huge margins and quickly on election night. Well, take a look. All the gray boxes that you see here are races that have not been projected yet. We have about 40 House races that are still up in the air, and it's clear that Democrats are still putting up a fight, George.
36 governor's races on the ballot.
Yep, so let's get back to the map right here because Democrats were able to hang on to some key gubernatorial races right here in New York, as well as Pennsylvania and in Michigan. Over to Georgia, though, even though we saw that very close Senate race that could be headed toward a runoff, take a look. The Republican Governor Brian Kemp easily defeating Stacey Abrams. You know, George, we talked so much about how much headwinds Democrats were heading into this election, facing record high inflation, troubles with the economy, but they are clearly defying expectations so far.
Sure looks that way. Rachel Scott, thanks very much.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.